Namaste. I welcome you to my podcast, Holistic Conversations, with your host, Mamina Das. Join me in my journey, in all of our journey, because we are all unique and we are the universe. Welcome to Holistic Conversations. Hello everyone, Namaste. I hope everybody is doing well, very well. And it's really hot this time. And good. We did lots of snow, lots of rain. Now it's time for some sunshine and reset, I believe. The summer is a reset. And it started with the spring setting in. And the excitement is more as the FIFA World Cup is going on. And today it's going to be more exciting because we have a poet, a blogger, a model, an author, award-winning author for his book. And I'm really excited and looking forward to meet our guest for today, Judge Kemp. Namaste, Judge. Welcome.
Namaste, Mamina.
I really liked something that I read when you shared about yourself. Judge, don't judge much.
Yes, my blog, Judge Don't Judge Much.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I just loved it. I'm like, this sounds really interesting. Okay, so since we are already getting a hint that you are a poet and writer and blogger, let's get started with one of your poem and then we will talk.
Sure, certainly. I'd like to read for you a piece. It's called XY, and
Okay.
this is part of included in my award-winning poet collection, Live, Love, Leo. XY is the story of my birth, and I'll read it for you now. 12:26 a.m. Monday, 17th day of month 8 in year 64. Expelled from a place warm, a sanctuary, a chamber of love, of life, into a space, a world that's cold, uncertainty, a time of joy. Sensations new of air and light and smell, a detachment of umbilical nourishment, snip. Confirmed sex, fingerlings and digits, appendages check, snip, smack. Cries of pain and fear subside as voice, female and familiar, calls out in exhaustion. Give him to me, she says. You are my boy. This was written for my mother. I remember she described to me my birth. And
Wow.
so just her telling me of that story inspired me to write XY.
That's really amazing. And I think it is when you were reading through your poem, definitely it passes or takes us through those emotions which a human, or I would say a life, passes through. Not just a human being, but a seed, a plant, every living being goes through it. And we have acknowledged everybody with your poem today. It is an acknowledgement, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
It was lovely. I have a painting which is related to I mean, which expresses the umbilical cord. So I feel really good about your poem.
We all have a start on this journey, this journey of where
Yes.
we are today, and even where we're going to be tomorrow. It all starts from a place, you know.
Yes.
And I was lucky that, when I was a young child, I was fortunate enough to have a good, solid foundation. My mother instilled a lot of love in our family. It was not an easy family, coming from um, having an abusive father in that relationship, in our relationship. But my mother continued to make sure that nurture of love was there for us, that constant, that stability that really helped me grow and to be a good human being.
Amazing. Amazing. So love is power.
It is.
And thank you for sharing your story. And now we know where your poetry is branching out from. It's love.
It really is. And I think for me, love is the one emotion that drives me personally to do more for the community, more for my partner, my husband, even love for myself, to try to continue to grow and thrive as a human being.
Absolutely. And I also feel the same because we rush through every emotion, but then only we can rest in love.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So that realization itself was so peaceful and calming, that, okay, love has found me, so I'll be fine. I'll be held well.
Yes.
Okay. So since you have already started with introducing your family and your growing up, and finally falling in love with love, and are able to love yourself. So I want to ask one question, that now you are saying that your mother instilled um, those feelings, or those that mindset. I think it is also a mindset, state of being, conscious living, everyday practice. That's how I relate to love. um, I want to ask you, when was the time when you realized that yes, it is love, it is love? If we have to go back to, we have to go back to love.
I think when it came to, I think being back to my childhood, for example, when I was afraid, I was lost. I was in a department store, and I just didn't know where, I didn't know where my mother was. I didn't know where my older sister was. And it was that moment of when my mother did find me and how she held me tightly, that she made me feel I was important, I was valued, I was now safe. And it wasn't just that I was safe, but I think for her, it just gave her peace of mind knowing that she could rest now, knowing that she knew where I was.
Wow, amazing. Um it is really important, I don't know how to put it, uh, that those experiences, they stay with us, and they definitely deliver when we need it, you know.
Mhm.
And definitely we feel the love again and again, again and again. So when you were talking itself, I was like, oh my God, lost in a store. I mean, here stores are really big. In India, we never had these kind of stores. Of course, now we see the same, but it's like for a child when he is lost, and amazing. I got the gist of it. And it's amazing that it still is able to provide you with that foundational experience, what you felt, how you felt, you know, and that feeling of safety when your mom found you. Um, it's
Yes.
just amazing. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. It was nice to hear.
Thank you.
Yeah, love to your mom. Absolutely.
I
I
will let
can't,
her
but I
know.
have to say. Yeah. So, talking about your uh, journey to writing, whether it started with poetry or you started writing something else, and how was the experience?
Specifically, this journey with poetry came about because of the pandemic. Um, I was really experiencing some rather vivid nightmares where I would wake up screaming. You know, I internalize a lot of information that comes into me. I'm a bit of an empath, and that information just was all over the place to the point where when I was resting, my mind was still racing with that misinformation, turning it into these vivid nightmares. Then I saw a friend of mine was hosting an online writing class and decided to, you know, take her up on that class. And I had written some things before. I was fortunate enough to have some things published in Huffington Post, um, but that was several years ago. And during this pandemic in this writing class, everything was going great. I wasn't having those nightmares anymore because I was able to focus my mind on something else, something I could use that nightmarish energy to channel into something positive.
Wow.
And so I was able to write. When we approached the subject of poetry, that's where the twist happened because I pretty much crossed my arms and pouted. And as I told the instructor, Jana Lopez, I said, "Well, I'm sorry, poetry just doesn't resonate with me." And then I kind of copped a little attitude. Um, I, I always had this idea that poetry had to be a certain way. It had to sound a certain way. I wasn't an academic. All of those things, those preconceived ideas that I had. And so when I decided to just relax and experiment with the words, I was really producing some amazing things to the point where my instructor was asking me, so now that you've built up this body of work, what are you going to do with it? And I just kind of shrugged my shoulders. I'm like, I don't know. And she asked me if I ever thought about writing a book. And of course, I'm like, me? Write a book? Um, and so this was, I think, 2022 thereabouts, when I began the journey of really putting my words down in a format where it could be published. And so, fast forward to 2023, I was able to produce and publish Live, Love, Leo. Um, and poetry to me has become such a wonderful tool for my personal self expression. Um, I used to dance a million years ago when I jokingly say when I was young and agile, and um, then then life happened and I could no longer remember dance steps. I had, my short term memory just seemed to short circuit. Um,
Okay.
I wish I could say it was that rock star life that I led, but none of that could be. It just wasn't true. Um, and so then I tried. I was hired as a model, which was great because I didn't have to really remember any dialogue. All I'd have to do is just smile and look pretty, Yeah. um, and so the poetry really, for me, is a nice way as an adult, as an older individual now, that I can still contribute creatively to the world. I don't have any children. I don't have a legacy to leave behind. But what I do have are my words. And I am extremely proud of the fact that I've got these words to share with the world.
Amazing. And I loved your journey. And it was very important for me to listen to when you were saying like, I don't write poetry. I can't write poetry. But somebody insisted, and they knew that you will be able to do it. So when we also talked earlier, I mentioned you that uh, nowadays we don't have many such kind of people, or fewer kind of people who actually can tell you that, why don't you try this, why don't you do this. Maybe because they know that there's a knowing, we say there's a knowing. So to listen to that and to follow and to start working on yourself, and then the book comes, and then the award comes, and then the contributions, and whatever you say, living a good life, like uh, that you feel that is worth it, like. And more so, you were not confident about it, so it's like a gifted thing, it's God gift, I would say. So everybody has those gifts, but unless we meet someone who can really reflect, or can dust it away and say, go do it. That was really important for today's sharing, because we must be aware of who is saying what to us. And if you feel like something resonate, then definitely take that advice and work on it, just like our guest today did. So that was amazing.
Thank
And
you.
so I want to also ask you, like, from not being interested and not uh, giving a thought at that point of time to writing poetry, and then your book comes, it's published. How you felt about it? It's all coming true. It's being published. Yeah.
Initially, I was still a little bit in shock that I'm like, I did this thing. Um, Only because I just, a little bit of imposter syndrome. How I'm like, how could I be a writer if, all of those things. Um, I think now though it's definitely sunk in that yes, I am a writer. I can embrace that title, and it's wonderful to be able to say I did this thing, because publishing a book takes a bit of effort, a lot of energy, and a little and some money. Um, you know, um, However, I didn't do it for all of those things. I did it for myself, um, to prove to myself that I could do a thing. And, you know, writing the poetry was a challenge initially. Um, Putting everything together in a book was definitely a challenge. Um, I am very happy that I've now gained these experiences and skills to have done these things, to have created these things. Um, so I really look at this gift that has been given to me as a way that I can share with other folks, that they too can do something if they put their minds to it. Really, um,
Yeah, absolutely. Put their minds to is a very important line. Don't ever miss that. Yeah. And also, like your interest or your inclination towards giving back to community. When did you start realizing that this is a thing that we can do? Like serving your community in that.
I've always been the type of individual that wants to contribute to my society, my community. Um, Here in Portland, Oregon, there used to be a fundraising organization called the Red Dress Party, where all the attendants, male and female, would have to wear a red dress. Um, the dress was kind of the anomaly to even the playing field, and so I did that. I was a part of the organization for roughly 20 years, and giving back to the community that way, um, was a wonderful way of getting the name of the organization out there, raising funds for beneficiaries. And also for me personally, it gave me the opportunity of being introduced to more people throughout the city of Portland. Um, it's kind of a running joke with friends that everywhere we go, I can't go anywhere that people don't know who I am. Um, and the world is small. I'll just say that. I
Yes,
just
yes.
enjoy trying to help connect people. That's what I enjoy.
That's wonderful. So it's about connection, community connection. Um, I also have questions about you mentioned your short term memory. Um, and what, how did it, or how did you traced that? Like, how did you experience that and what all happened through that?
I was living in Los Angeles. I was there trying to be that dancer and actor and make a name for myself. And as a dancer, you're really required to audition for a job. And I was auditioning for several videos for well-known, entertainers. And what I could normally do was pick up the movements quite quickly. Uh, and it was like someone flipped a switch, and a dance that I knew a day before, I all of a sudden, it wasn't up in my head anymore. And someone had suggested, asked me, was I nervous or anything like that, and I was not. And so that was one incident. Another was when I was auditioning for um, a, a video commercial, and I had to, remember the first couple of sentences of the script and deliver it. And when I looked at the page, all I could see are just words. It wasn't a sentence; it was just words. Um, and so those experiences really uh, were difficult to navigate at such an early part of my theatrical career. Um, and, it was devastating. And even now, as, a couple of decades later, I still suffer with some of those issues, but luckily there's technology to help. For example, when I'm doing a poetry reading or something, I have my cell phone. I can, at least recite from my device. I just don't have the capacity any longer to hold on to things in my head. Um, my memory is full. I can't
Your
hold
memory
it
is full,
more.
storage full.
Yes.
But I also would like to mention that you remember those things from your childhood. Those
Mhm.
are still there. And some memories may be short term, but some still are alive.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And those are the things that continue to keep me engaged with friendships and even family. We talk about certain things, and I'm like, oh yeah, I do remember that.
And that's amazing. I mean, it was like all of a sudden it just started with you. And is it gotten better? I mean, with writing your poetry, with your writing and everything, does that?
Better, I think. Again, I have to shout out technology as being a great tool,
Yeah, yeah,
um, because it allows me to have those things close at hand if I
yeah,
need to. Um, for example, for work, the work that pays the bills and provides the insurance,
yeah.
I am lucky that I do a job that muscle memory kicks in.
Okay.
So it's that repetition that really helps um, set things in stone when it comes to doing certain tasks or remembering
Yeah,
things.
yeah. Okay. Um, I was, I forgot. I was thinking something. I lost.
It's okay.
Uh, yeah, I was really curious to ask, but then I lost it. Never mind. Um, yeah, so like you said, technology. So I think then technology is a great help in that sense. If you say, like, you have everything stored and you can scroll through that, you can read, you can have your calendar set and do this and that, and everything is there already. So that is a safe space for you. You feel like that?
I do. I really do.
Yeah. And talking about your LA life, then how did you now live in Portland? What brought you here to Portland?
Well, let's see. I took a brief detour. I was living abroad in Amsterdam for close to 7 years before
Hmm.
landing in Portland. And Again, I mentioned before the world is small. My partner, husband, we've been together for 26 years, and our paths have crossed over decades before we officially connected, in the early 80s in San Diego. When I moved to LA in the 90s, we ran into one another on the street. Um, we went our separate ways again. I moved abroad, had a relationship over in the Netherlands. That was over, and I was in Seattle for Thanksgiving in 1999. I was at a club, and then I turned around and said, "Hey, I know you."
Good
And
memory.
well, I remembered his face.
Wow.
I had to really, yeah, I had to interrogate him practically to bring the memories full circle. I asked him his name. He told me, and I asked him where he was from. He said Portland. I'm like, no. Where did you live before Portland? He said San Diego, and I said, "Hey, Eric, it's me, Judge from the Gap. The store, the Gap store."
Yeah.
So we've really known each other for close to 40 years, which
Wow.
it seems like a long time. Whew.
You need some short-term memory there.
Well, I'm lucky I remember details. Otherwise, who knows where I would be these days.
I'm sorry. I was just like, so tell us something about your 40 years of journey. How it has been, and um, has anything changed, or uh, how is it?
The 40 years with knowing my partner, or just
Yes, yes. You and your partner. Yes. How it
well,
has been there for such a long time. We need to know that. Yeah.
well, first things first, our hairstyles have changed. I used to have a jerry curl, which I nicknamed that the black man's mullet. So it was kind of puffy and long in the back. My hair used to come down to the nape of my neck, very curly because I had lots of product in it. I also used to have a little thin mustache. Um, his hair was blonde because his partner at the time was uh, was a hairdresser. So uh, there's that from 40 years ago. Fast forward to the 90s. I cut my hair. I cut the mustache off. I put on a lot of muscle. Um, so there's that. And his hair was no longer blonde. and
Okay.
and the rest is pretty much history. So we are together. The universe just kept bringing us together.
Bringing you back, back, back.
Yeah, it it,
Yeah.
it, it is a small world.
It is a small world. Yes. And you uh, made it uh, look really small, not in a sense that small, but nothing is big.
Yeah, yeah. I think we set the limitations on our world. If if we allow ourselves to get to know one another, be kind with one another, that
Yeah.
kindness multiplies. And when you're a kind person yourself, and when you travel, you meet people, and that kindness sometimes remains
Yeah.
where friendship grows. And
Yeah.
so it's because of that, that really is how I see the world in being small, but not
Mm.
small as in, small minded,
Yeah.
but just small in the way of knowing people
Connection.
or having those connections exactly
Yeah.
everywhere,
Yeah. Yeah.
which I think is the best way to live.
Yeah. And I also realize how it happened naturally. Like, you were away, you both lived in different countries, And then again, you are meeting, again, you are meeting. Wow, that's amazing. Did you
Yeah.
write any poem about that?
I think I have something in there, but it's more. I usually write a lot when we travel. So
Mm,
if I'm in a plane, I'm usually writing something.
yeah.
So I've written quite a few pieces while traveling. We enjoy traveling down to Spain when we can,
Oh,
and so
wow.
that those are some hours that I put to good use when I'm in a plane.
Wow. Would you like to read something from those memories?
Sure. Let me see. I'm gonna consult my mobile memory
Yes, for sure. Yes.
and see
Now
what
that
I.
it's a strength, we have to.
Yeah. Let's see. T, 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 T. What's this one? Here's one I wrote, and I dedicate this to my partner. I presented this to him on our anniversary, our 26th anniversary this year. It's
Wow.
called My World. My world, our world, is better with you in it. My days are never boring, all because of you. Your smile fills me with joy, and the light in your eyes brightens the darkness of uncertain times. Laughter is the gift we exchange, given freely, day or night. You are the calming force keeping the ship steady during unforeseen rough waters of the journey. Your presence helps tame the wilds of my restless soul, creating space for me to be me.
Wow.
Your innocence, patience, and compassion you wear like a suit that covers your handsome frame. You have taught me about your architectural passions, and I've shared my passion for travel to places beyond here. You are my life partner, my husband, and you are my world.
Wow. Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
I loved how you have shared that uh, what you have learned from him and what you have shared with him, and how passionately you have received it, and you have reflected it that in your poem. That is so lovely. And the
Thank you.
friendship, and the
Yes,
friendship. Yes,
absolutely.
that's
Absolutely.
the best part of it. Yeah. If you could be friends, then you can live a good life.
Yes, and I also would say there's a great deal of respect that I have for him and he for me.
Wow.
Um, yeah, we enjoy each other's company, and that's half the battle.
So, do you read your poems to him?
I do.
You do?
A lot of my writing, he acts as my editor. So
Wow.
he'll take a look and it's like, what's that word? I think, what does that mean? Or do you really mean this word? And so sometimes I'll tweak it a little. Sometimes I will just accept his, I don't say not criticism, but his opinions about
Yeah.
a certain word or whatever. And I may change it, I may not.
Yeah.
Uh, but it's really, I have him read it if it makes sense to him. He's kind
Yeah.
of a good gauge of I guess uh, of regular folks, you know.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's
So
amazing. So, yeah. I don't change anything. I don't listen to anything that my husband says. You can say, yeah, but nothing's changing, thank you.
well, I take his comments as advice. Whether or not I choose to
Yeah.
incorporate the changes or his advice is another thing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, I listen. Sometimes I can't even. I'm like, okay, bye. Not now,
Okay,
not
that's
now.
fair. That's fair. Yeah.
Not now, maybe later. That's amazing. Uh, yeah, tell us something about how you have your lifestyle arranged with your short-term memory, and how you are still enjoying your life, and people who are facing this kind of conditions should still live life better. There's technology. Come on.
And that's the thing, I don't look at this memory issue of mine as a deterrent, especially now. I have managed to, you know, progress still in endeavors such as the poetry, the creative things that I really enjoy, despite the fact that if you hold a series of numbers or words up in front of my face, 9 times out of 10, I wouldn't be able to tell you what those numbers or words were. Um, but, I don't need to do that. I don't need to, you know, put myself in those types of positions. And when I am in a situation where I have to, I just say, hey, this is this is how it is. I can do my best. However, if you really want me to excel, I need to use my tools. And nine
Yep.
times out of 10, I get to use my tools so that I
Yep.
can really do the job or whatever that I was hired to do, or just to make me feel that I can do the best job for me as well. And I think that's the important part. There are tools out there to help.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to really say that um, don't go by what everyone is saying. Like Judge is saying, he's so much at peace when he's sharing that technology is become a strength. Why not? Why not? I mean, if you think that eases your life, or that is serving you, or helping you store something for you, that's it. Yeah, sometimes it's good to have different perspective, so that we don't get caught up into the generalized way of thinking, and then there's a release. There's a ease, like, okay, there's some backup.
Absolutely. I think being empathetic to others really helps us broaden our own perspectives on things. And it seems to be a little shortage on empathy right now, but hopefully that will change soon. You know,
Yeah, that is evolving, I mean, with the day and age. But personally, like, you are aware and you are doing what you can do. So it's one person at a time.
yeah, this is true.
Yeah. And what else? It was lovely talking to you. I don't know what else to ask. I mean, whatever I have written down, other than my short term memory, what I left already, I'm still not getting it. But then, couple things that I written down, I asked you everything.
Well,
And
perfect.
um, thank you for mentioning that imposter, and then stepping into your writing and making it happen. That is the real message for today. And it was nice to listen about your mom. And I loved the way you have explained the experience. It was amazing. Is there anything that you would like to share before we
Sure.
are?
Sure. If folks would like to learn more about who I am, they are very welcome to go to my website, judgekemp.com. There, they will be able to uh, purchase the book Live, Love, Leo. They will be able to read my blogs, sign up for my mailing list, all of those things at judgekemp.com.
Wow. I would like to ask you to leave us with a message today.
Sure.
Yes.
The message for today. So I'll give you an example. I do affirmations in the morning with my colleagues. And so we are here together in this space, sharing ideas and energy, opening our hearts and our minds, opening our eyes wide to the world in front of us. Keep those eyes open at all times. Keep your heart open at all times, and be ready to receive those gifts.
Wow. Lovely. Thank you for your message, and it was lovely talking to you. I hope we will see Judge again. Well, I'm not saying anything more. You will just see and meet.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Namaste. Thank you. It was wonderful talking to you. Then thanks to your mom. At least
Will do.
I should say I love you, mom.
Well, namaste, Mamina. Thank you very much for the opportunity
Thank
to speak with you
you.
today.
It was lovely talking to you. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Namaste.
Bye bye.